Good evening and welcome to your news bulletin with Television Tonga. Making headlines, Lord Ma'afu officially opens the newly established office for the Friendly Island Shipping Agency who operates the MV Otwanga Ofa vessel. Tonga Navy Patrol Boat Voya Savea joins the celebrations of the 100th anniversary of the Royal Australian Navy. And trial for more than 100 DePaul College students alleged for willful damage of a residential house in Tofoa delayed for next month. There will be other news items later on in this bulletin, together with the latest in sports and the weather. Now for the news in details, I'm Fatai Whaingaa. The Minister in Charge and Minister for Lands, Survey, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Lord Ma'afu, this morning officially opened the Friendly Island Shipping Agency new office at the Quinsalote Wharf. Lord Ma'afu officially unveiling the block and officially opening the newly constructed building, estimated at 450,000 pa'anga, funded by the Ports Authority. The office is situated at the Quinsalote Wharf near the vessel's boarding cargoes and passengers area. In a remarks from the chairman of the Ports Authority's board, Stephen Atwoods, he says this is part of their vision to enhance the long-term value of its operations and ensure its profitability.
This building was built primarily for the purpose of housing the Friendly Island Shipping Agency, which we were happy to provide as part of our master plan for the development of the Port of Nuku'alofa. FISA is reorganizing its operation to provide better services to the public, and what we see here today is the result of the agreement between the Ports Authority and FISA.
He adds this new move was after they were made aware that the current location of FISA's office is of the former manager and therefore had to move. However, they will look at occupying the area for the local vessels' slipway to cut cost for the local vessels.
Already we have resurfaced berth number 2 for international ships at a cost of $1 million. Purchased 2 ridge stackers at $700,000 each, totaling $1.4 million, for easy and fast movement of containers. Install mobile power points at a cost of $100,000 to assist agricultural exporters, especially the squash exporters. Concreting the surface of berth number 3, as well as the loading bay, costing $500,000 for use by the MV Otwanga Ofa and the local ships. All these works have been done through self-financing.
Attending the program was the Honourable Minister of Public Enterprises, Ve'awa Kata, and convey the words of thanks.
And as Minister for Public Enterprises, I very much encourage the cooperation and assistance of public enterprises to each other. In this case, the Friendly Island Shipping Agency officials saw the need to improve the efficiency of its services by having a one-stop shop and a proper place for customer services. Office complex and Kahako Operations Center in support of its inter-island vessel, the MV Otwanga Ofa. The Board of Directors and Management of FISA then sought the assistance of the Board of Directors and Management of Ports Authority Tonga, and this is the result of their successful cooperation.
Present at the program were ministers of the Ground, diplomatic corps, Ports Authority staff and many guests. The Pacific Civil Aviation Safety Authority says new funding from the World Bank will help strengthen the international reputation of air travel in the region. A large part of the $2.15 million grant will be put towards modernizing information systems and upholding safety regulations. Kalalaini Tonglava reports.
The authority's director, Wilson Sagati, told Radio Australia's Pacific Beat program the World Bank funding will help protect against fears of travelling in the region following several disasters in recent years. Mr. Sakati says if mechanisms are not put in place to build capacity to meet international aviation safety standards, then the risk will increase in that regard. The upgrade follows a travel advisory from New Zealand over aircraft safety in Tonga, making it hard for tourists to get insurance to travel in the country. That warning also saw the suspension of millions of dollars in tourism fund. Meanwhile, Tongan tourism operator says aircraft safety fears are crippling businesses. In August, New Zealand's Foreign Minister Mark McCarthy drew attention to the MH60 aircraft gifted by China and operated by Rio Tonga, issuing a travel warning. The MH60 aircraft is operated by Tonga's domestic air carrier Rio Tonga for its daily flight operations to Vava'u. However, the Chinese embassy in Nuku'alofa has reaffirmed the safety standards of the MH60 aircraft.
The Voya Savea has represented the Tongan Navy at the 100th anniversary of the Royal Australian Navy in the weekend. Prince Harry of Britain officiated at the event at Sydney Harbour, with many warships and patrol boats from all over the world coming together at the harbour. We'll join Kalalaine Tonglava again with that story.
The guest of honor at the event to mark the first century of the 100th anniversary of the Australian Navy was Prince Harry of Britain. Also present at the ceremony was the Governor-General of the country, Quintin Price. The Royal Australian Navy website describes the event as one of the largest events to be held in Sydney Harbour. It says one of the visiting boats was Tonga's patrol boat Voya Savea under the command of Lieutenant Holokaukau Lakai. In an interview with Lieutenant Lakai by the Australian media, he said there are 3 boats and just 130 sailors in Tonga's entire navy. Lieutenant Lakai told Australian media that the International Fleet Review means a lot to them and they can show their appreciation to Australia by celebrating with the Royal Australian Navy the very important event. Up to 1.5 million people have watched the review from vantage points around the harbour foreshore. Security was tight with warships from US, Britain, France, India and China, training vessels from 14 other nations during the celebration, and alongside 19 RAN vessels ranging from guided missile frigates to training vessels. Heading Tonga's delegates to the celebration of the Australian Navy's 100th anniversary was the commander of the Tonga Defence Services, Brigadier General Tau'aika Ota'atu. The Royal Australian Navy website also stated its development programs during the last century, involving its bilateral development programs with the Tongan Navy, where it has donated 3 patrol boats and have conducted many other development programs with the Tongan Navy. For Television Tonganese, I'm Kalolaine Tonglava.
2 brothers from Hawhewā and Hāpai have been allegedly charged for causing bodily harm and assaulting a civil servant in their home island. The 2 men were arrested after police in Pangai told that 2 Asian men and the district officer of the island of Hawhewā were injured by the brothers. In an interview with the police superintendent of Hāpai, Inspector Augustino Peleki, he says the incident occurred on September 26. He says they were informed the 2 accused were drunk and had gone to the Asian store in the middle of the night. The security guard informed them that the store was closed and instead the brother beat him. Later on, they injured the 2 Asian men when they came out to help the security guards. Inspector Peleki says when the district officer came to help, he was injured as well. The 2 accused, aged 24 and 19, have been released on bail and are due to appear at the magistrate court once a magistrate arrives on the island. The officer from the European Union Suva office in Fiji will begin training of non-government organizations and related stakeholders in the private sector regarding the application letters for funds from the European Union or EU. This opportunity is provided for local businesses from leftover 100,000 paanga grant from the European Union. Linda Filiai reports.
The officer from the European Union's office in Suva, Eleni Leveni Devi, says the application will be convenient for local businesses if they are familiar with the skills to request for this fund. Last week, the Minister of Internal Affairs, Lord Vaya, launched the invitation for the NGOs and private sector to join the initiatives of the European Union. The training will begin tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at the Moulton Hall at the Free Wesleyan Church office in Nuku'alofa. Representatives from the European countries in Tonga are about to attend the program, including the stakeholders from the private sector. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
The trial for more than 100 Tubal College students who were alleged for willful damage of a residential house in Tufua have been delayed for next month or for November. Linda Filiai reports.
All students are scheduled to appear at the Magistrate Court on November 18th till the 21st. The Magistrate Court confirmed this to Radio and Television Tonga News this morning. The students are also charged with other counts including causing bodily harm, attempted arson, and others. The trial has been delayed after a magistrate received submission from both legal counsel representing the student requesting for the delay of the trial date in order for the student to sit at the end of year final examination together with the external examination. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
Newly advanced sets of integrated security cameras known as the closed-circuit television camera or CCTV have been installed in a Lokalofa Central Police Station's watch house. Sinlanto reports.
In a statement from the Ministry of Police, the Acting Commissioner of Police, Unga Fa'awa, stated that this was the outcome of a review conducted at the station after the death of New Zealand police officer Kali Fungawaka in August last year. These security cameras will capture anything in the entire watch house. The purpose of the installations of the CCTV cameras is to provide a safer environment for both staff and prisoners in the watch house. This initiative is under the Tonga Police Development Program, TPDP. It is a trilateral agreement between Ministry of Police, New Zealand Police and the Australian Federal Police. The aim of this program is to develop leadership and building an efficient and effective policing service for each communities.
Police operations on the island of Hawaii is expected to improve once the new district police station will begin operating in Hawhewa. The new police station will provide police services for the Hololunga area and also the southwest side of Bangai. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the police superintendent, Inspector Peleki, says one of the reasons for opening up a new district station in Hawhewa is to combat crimes that seem to accelerate on the area. Also to cut down on costs from travelling from Bangai to these islands. He says that they've spent up to 800 to 1,000 pa'anga in renting a boat to patrol these areas. Meanwhile, Inspector Peleki says all the islanders are pleased with the new establishment. At present, there are 3 police stations in Hawaii, including the newly established station in Hawhewa. And that's the local scene. Pacific is up next after this break.